I would like next to invite Representative Judy Biggert, who has been an indefatigable champion for science for many years. I have heard legendary things of all the effort that she makes about bringing both sides of the aisle together in support of science, but very especially for us and for Argonne as well, for the Office of Science within the Department of Energy. So Judy, thank you.
Well, it's great to be back here today, and thank you so much, Pierre, and all of the Fermi staff for allowing us to come here today. And special thanks to Senator Durbin. He has been a staunch partner in our fight for science funding and a great colleague to work with, and you've just come through for us so many times, and so many times have we had to go to you in the Senate for help to get so many things. You've done a great job. And then thanks to Congressman Foster, who surely brings a hands-on perspective on what Fermi needs and what we need to do with the science funding and all the things in science. So before I begin, I just wanted to share a quick story with you. During my first month in Congress back in 1999, then President Clinton sent up a budget to Congress that cut a whopping $20 million from the electrometallurgical project at Argonne. And it wasn't just a cut or a decrease in the rate of growth, it was a cut. And I remember getting the phone call as I waited at O'Hare to go to Washington, and I thought to myself, great. I've only been a few weeks in Congress, and already I'm responsible for losing millions of federal funds to my district, and I'll never get reelected again. So, as luck would have it, on the very same flight with me was a cardinal. Not the cardinal with the red robes or the large cross, but a cardinal as in the name of what we call the powerful chairman of the appropriations subcommittees. So I went up to him bereft, if not hysterical, and told him my sad story and asked, what can I do? What can I do? You know what he said to me? He said, don't worry, Judy. We'll put the money back in, and then you'll look like a hero. So I did get the money back, but let me just say to you that we are not the heroes here today, and this is not a game. You are the heroes for sticking with your mission, putting up with the uncertainties, and resisting the strong urge to go to work in France, Switzerland, or some other place where you don't have to live from day to day wondering if the politics leave you jobless. And what went wrong in FY 2008? Well, the president proposed a $600 million budget increase. The House passed a $7 million increase. The Senate Appropriations Committee passed a $700 million increase. So given these numbers, wouldn't you think that the omnibus would have come out somewhere between $600 million and $700 million increase? No. The omnibus included $250 million increase, half of which was $125 million of earmarks. I'm going to talk about these are bad earmarks. The earmark that you just got today is a good earmark. So, and what were those earmarks for? Well, high particle physics? No. Nanotechnology? No. Okay, how about nuclear science or research on the hydrogen car or the hybrid plug-in? No, no, no. These earmarks in the Office of Science of the Department of Energy went to buy new MRIs for rural hospitals. Sounds like a good thing, but I think that an MRI was invented, what, 30 or 40 years ago, so I didn't think that this was really for research and development. But I got so upset that I've taken a moratorium on earmarks until we can fix this broken system. But frankly, I would like to see the day when our appropriations treat the Office of Science at Energy the same way they treat the National Institutes of Health. No earmarks, period. They let the researchers go where the science leads them and not where politicians dictate. So thankfully, there are some in contradictory it is to lay off researchers and put a hold on groundbreaking experiments at a time when we face a shaky economy and a greater need now for new energy technologies. And so with the bipartisan support, we were able to secure the funding in the supplemental to help curtail the layoffs and restore some operations at key facilities. And it was a long uphill battle, as we all know, but one that was certainly well worth fighting for. And why is that? Well, in fact, according to the Nobel Prize winning economist Robert Solow, at least half of the total growth of the U.S. economy since World War II was brought about by science and technology innovations. But if America is going to keep reaping the benefits of science, we must ensure that sufficient resources remain available at DOE's Office of Science, the National Science Foundation, and other federally sponsored R&D efforts. And that is why those of us in the Illinois delegation have worked so hard to educate our colleagues about the importance of supporting your work. And I'm pleased to see that our efforts have not gone unrewarded. In addition to securing the $62.5 million for the Office of Science, Congress last year enacted the America Competes Act, which aims to double funding for the physical sciences over 10 years. So we have to keep that in mind as we move forward. Many of you have come out to Washington to be part of the educational effort, helping us every year to get members to sign on to our letter requesting funding, increased funding. So, for that, I thank all of you. Both of these achievements were the result of grassroots efforts by the scientists, students, and academics from across America who weighed in with Congress on behalf of science. And it is that same support that we will need to draw upon as Congress returns to work on appropriation for fiscal year 2009 and beyond. So with that in mind, keep up the good work and never stop letting your voices be heard. America's competitiveness depends on the research investments that we make today, and we cannot afford another misstep like 2008. So thank you very much. Thank you.